Every day on this channel, I go through everything Elon said on X in the last 24 hours. And today, Tesla's trading at $316 and a market cap of $990 billion. And today, Elon said that extreme execution is needed, but a valuation or a market cap of 20 trillion for Tesla is possible. And Elon said this in response to Keith Fitzgerald, who said that betting against Elon is like betting against Steve Jobs. And a Morgan Stanley analyst said on Thursday that we struggle to think of any other company as well positioned as Tesla in terms of data, robotics, energy, AI, manufacturing, and supporting infrastructure. Alex quoted this saying he can't believe that he fully agrees with Morgan Stanley about Tesla, at least in this tweet, but here we are. And Elon says Morgan Stanley is right. And Deus Ex Machina says, "Dear Elon, thank you for volunteering your time at Tesla. I promise we will pay you sincerely, Tesla shareholders." And Elon gives him a heart. And Gale has officially completed 56 robotaxi rides. Not one of them had an intervention where the vehicle had to be stopped. And Elon reposted that. And Elon responded to Phil Beazle, who wrote an article about what it's actually happening when Tesla is validating the streets in Austin to prepare robotaxi to drive the public around. And so he quoted his own article saying this: 10x. Elon said the next version of full self-driving, presumed to be version 14, will have 10x the number of parameters as version 13, including the version 13 builds used in robotaxi. What does this mean? Architecturally, a neural network is made up of layers, and those layers contain nodes, also called neurons. Each node in one layer is typically connected to every node in the next layer. These connections have numerical values called weights, which determine how influential each connection is. Each node also has a bias which adjusts the node's output independently of its inputs. So the parameters in a neural network are the weights plus the biases. So when Elon says version 14 has 10 times more parameters, he means the total number of weights and biases has increased, implying a larger, more expressive model. In a sense, it means the model is more nuanced and can contain more decision points. In general, a bigger model is better, but also requires more compute to train at the Cortex cluster, and more compute to run inference, the hardware in the car. Deciding that version 14 will be 10 times bigger than version 13 implies the team is confident they can run it on hardware for Teslas. In other words, they know the performance can be achieved for inference. And Elon responded to this post with a bullseye. And I think anyone with a hardware 4 car is happy to see that. And Elon also responds with a bullseye to Yoon Ta, who's a senior staff engineer at Tesla. And he says that C and C++ is still the bread and butter of system engineering. Even most models can be trained and exported via Python. Most kernel drivers for the robotic parts are still written in C and C++, down to something as basic as inter-integrated circuit buses and direct memory access controllers. You still need to be able to express your thought process directly to the machine, how you want to actuate, with all the fault handling and hardening. And Elon says, bullseye. But we are not Elon Musk, so let's get Grok to explain this to us like we're 5. The post is saying that an old but super strong language called C is still the best way to talk to robots, especially the important parts inside them that make them work, like the tiny engines or wires. Even though some people use a newer, easier language called Python to teach the robot new tricks, the deep down stuff, like making sure the robot doesn't break or moves just right, still needs C. The person who wrote this is worried that schools are not teaching kids this special language anymore. So when lots of robots are needed, there might not be enough grown-ups who know how to fix or build them. It's like if no one taught you how to fix your toy car and then it breaks. So now if you read what Yoon Ta said again, you still need to be able to express your thought process directly to the machine, how you want to actuate, with all the fault handling and hardening, with all the mistakes that happen. And most kernel drivers for the robotic parts are still written in C, so it's good to know it. And Tesla is set to launch robotaxi testing in Palo Alto, California and Tempe, Arizona. This is evidenced by some job postings. And yesterday, Starlink was actually down, and today they reported that the issue has been resolved and Starlink service has been restored. We understand how important connectivity is and apologize for the disruption, and Elon reposted this. And Michael gave us some more information. He works at SpaceX. Starlink has now mostly recovered from the network outage, which lasted approximately 2.5 hours. The outage was due to failure of key internal software services that operate the core network. We apologize for the temporary disruption in our service, and we are deeply committed to providing a highly reliable network and will fully root cause this issue and ensure it does not occur again. And Elon posted a video going through SpaceX's new website. John Kraus says the website looks great. Lots of details on upcoming launches, not just the ones a day or two away. And Elon quotes this and says, "Shortly before the next flight, I will do a live technical update on Starship, going over progress to date and engineering production launch plans for the future." He said about a week ago that the next Starship flight was a few weeks away, so I'm sure we could expect this talk sometime in August. And here's Dragon arriving at the hangar at Pad 39A in Florida ahead of its 6th flight to the space station. Falcon 9 is targeted to launch Dragon and NASA's Crew 11 to the orbiting laboratory no earlier than Thursday, July 31st. And Utah posted a photo of Mars captioned "The Seed of Galactic Empire." You can see something right here. Could be something in orbit or a small city, but it would be the start of something much, much larger. And Elon reposted this. The photo can be found on SpaceX's new website. And Donald Trump released a new statement about Elon. He said, "Everyone is stating that I will destroy Elon's companies by taking away some, if not all, of the large-scale subsidies he receives from the US government. This is not so. I want Elon and all businesses within our country to thrive. In fact, thrive like never before. The better they do, the better the USA does, and that's good for all of us. We are setting records every day, and I want to keep it that way." Elon responds to this saying, "The subsidies he's talking about simply do not exist." Donald Trump has already removed or put an expiry date on all sustainable energy support while leaving massive oil and gas subsidies untouched. SpaceX won the NASA contracts by doing a better job for less money. Moving those contracts to other aerospace companies would leave astronauts stranded and taxpayers on the hook for twice as much. And Dima says SpaceX won NASA contracts by doing better work for much less money. And Elon replies, "Yes." And when Tesla owner Silicon Valley says that Trump has said he will not destroy Elon Musk's companies, Elon replied, "Phew." And Trump also said that Epstein is a scam and a Democrat con job. Jay Kim responded saying, "Why not review the 10,000 hours of video? Each video will contain a victim and perpetrator, identify all the perpetrators and make a list, release the list. That's what we want. It's a win-win for everyone except for the pedophiles." And Elon says, "Exactly." And it's been about 2 years now since Twitter became X, and it all started here. X is the #1 news app in 148 countries. And Bindu is beginning to panic. Does Twitter have more AI bots than real people? Why do all my replies sound like bots? Only comment on this post if you are biological intelligence. And Sam says, "Out of tokens." And Elon has a laugh at that one. And Deborah's having a conversation with Grok in front of her 78-year-old father. He can't believe it. This is science fiction to him. And Elon says, "Cool." And Define L says, "One app to rule them all," putting the Grok AI companions in sort of a Lord of the Rings setting. And Elon says, "Maximally truth-seeking is absolutely essential to ensuring a good AI future for humanity. A new AI companion, Valentine, should be coming soon." And Base Beth Bezos says Grok is actually insanely cracked at being a doctor. And Elon says true. And Omar says that Grok in his Tesla is very entertaining. We were cracking up on the way home talking to Unhinged Mode about some questions we had about the history of San Francisco. And on the ARC AGI2 leaderboard, this is an AI benchmark. Grok 4 is so far ahead of everything else right now, and XAI isn't slowing down. You can see Grok all the way up here in purple. And Greg Yang works at XAI and he's seeing some folks complain about the recommendation algorithm. He says, "Let me know all the issues you are seeing so we can debug thoroughly," and Elon reposted it. And Elon says that the sun is the source of 100% of energy. Everything else is just crumbs. He says the math is obvious and unequivocal. 100% of energy over time comes from the sun. Everything else is a rounding error. And Peter Diamandis says that Eric Schmidt said that US dominance in AI is limited by electricity, not chips. Check out what China is doing to electrify at scale. It's epic. We must accelerate. Their solar capacity added over the previous 12 months is up 62% compared to the 12 months prior. Elon responds saying, "Eric is right. Energy output is much harder to solve than chip production." And Jesse writes that if coal had a higher energy density than solar, we would have coal-powered satellites. And Elon responds, "Bingo." And as we see the AI race ramping up, Will says intelligence per watt is the only important metric in the end. Elon replies saying that and total watts harnessed for intelligence are the two obvious fundamental metrics that scale infinitely. For practical purposes, intelligence per gigabyte per second, and intelligence per operation are a daily struggle. So it sounds like every day with Elon and his teams at likely both XAI and Tesla, both working with AI models, every day they're trying to get more intelligence from their models using less energy. And so Elon's saying intelligence per watt and total watts harnessed for intelligence can actually scale infinitely. And Rothmus says we deserve better psyops. And Elon says, yeah. And Tesla says that they want to do more Tesla diners in various cities. What about one on Mars? Deborah says, come with me to Mars, and Elon reposted this. And you can order Tesla Diner food right from your car's touchscreen, and we will bring it out to you on roller skates. Captain Ellie was at the Tesla Diner and met this lovely couple, and long story short, they love and support Elon Musk and Tesla. So that's everything that Elon said today. We learned that the Starlink network is back up and running. The expansion of the robotaxi network is looking pretty good. And Elon said that a $20 trillion market cap for Tesla is possible. And we're going to get a technical update on Starship soon. And if you guys enjoy these updates and want to get access to these videos early, you can do so by joining the channel as a member. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.